damn, I couldn't breathe in that thing. Actually, I probably shouldn't throw that. Wow, off to a great start, hey? I feel like I only see white people do that. Like when they exit stores, they take off their masks and they just go, oh, holy shit. But you don't see a whole lot of other people doing that. It's mostly just like old, stubborn, racist white people. And that's where I've been. In the all right, we're off to a fantastic start. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 29 of Get Up Podcast with Josh Dohy. I wasn't here last week, and so I got 2 weeks of shit to catch up with you guys with. I think I talked about the skydiving shit already, and maybe I'm rusty. Maybe we're just gonna start by greasing those wheels with a little bit of a vocal exercise. Logging Billy Bopper sucked on his titty stopper. That's a little vocal exercise I learned in my acting school. And if you hear some thumping, it's just we got some rolling thumpers, and there could be a whole lot going on upstairs. But where have I been? Well, last week I couldn't record the podcast because I was busy. Okay, I got a lot of stuff going on. And I guess we'll just start with what happened last week. But last week on Thursday, I did a big time, long time goal of mine, which is not only do stand up once in one night, do it fucking twice, baby. Actually, the goal was to do 2 stand up spots in a week. That's what I had on my vision board. The vision board. But I did 2 in one night, which is like fucking cool because that means I am 1/8 of the way to being a New York comedian. Because comedians in New York, they hit like 7 spots in a night. And then they do that like multiple times a week. And that's fucking sick. Like how dope of a comic would you become if you get to practice 7 times a freaking day? Because if you follow any comedy podcast, which I don't think this qualifies as one, but if it did, you would be following a comedy podcast already. But if you follow any other kind of comedy podcast, then you would know that comedy is one of the only things that you can practice in front of people. Did I phrase that right? No. Comedy is one of the only things where the only way to practice stand-up comedy is by doing it in front of people. Like, you will never, ever get better at stand-up comedy by just doing it alone in your house. Maybe you'll get the rhythm down or something, maybe you'll get to work on your writing a little bit, but you will never get to a good level without getting up on stage. That's why when you talk to any comedian, if they have any word of advice to any comedian who wants to get started in the industry, it's get the fuck on stage. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. Because I've been getting up on stage for a year now. That's why I thought I'd start a comedy podcast. But that's why I thought I'd start a comedy podcast. Just kidding, because that's what all comedians do, right? But I've been doing stand-up comedy for about a year now, on and off. I started around this time last year, did it kind of intermittently, and then left to go and travel, and I guess we could talk about that a little bit, and then came back, COVID started, came back, did a little bit of comedy, and then left, COVID started, came back, oh fuck, nothing's open, and then things started opening up again, and then I got to start doing comedy again, and I really wanted to just devote myself to doing it regularly, because although it makes me shit myself, like I am just like, I'm super shitting myself for like the entire week before doing stand-up, because for this one specific place that I perform, Keto Caveman Cafe, check me out on Thursdays, but I email the showrunner on Fridays, and she lets me know if I've got the spot like within a day or so. So from Friday until the following Thursday, I am just like shitting myself nonstop. Like, what the fuck am I gonna say? I'm just flipping the fuck out because like I want to be funny. Yeah, who doesn't? But I'm starting out, right? I got no jokes. I'm writing pretty frequently. I try and write between 1 and 3 pages a day, which happens sometimes. Other times does not happen, right? But the intention said, but the point is, you set the intention. right? But yeah, so for the entire week before doing my stand-up spot, I'm just like shitting myself day in, day out. Like I've just gone crazy, like in stomach anxiety, because I figured out that primal anxiety. This could be wrong, by the way. We're already starting off with some non-factual information, too. Hey, you are not giving us any factual information. And what? Were you expecting very scientific, super accurate, to the T information from a 24-year-old? If so, reassess the life choices, maybe find yourself a counselor, and then maybe, in fact, get your fucking life together. No, but sometimes I do have some good advice to give. But, yes. What was happening? Oh, I'm shitting myself. Always. Oh, shit. Do you shit myself right now? No, but, panicking and feeling that in my stomach. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Because, I was out for a walk. I was doing a little writer's walk where I walk around this neighborhood I live in at night. It's a very big neighborhood, very affluent. I'm not affluent, but it's an affluent neighborhood. I live in a basement. I live in a tiny basement with 3 other people. But it's a really fun neighborhood to walk around because there's always like some interesting shit to see. And at one point during one of my writer's walks, I saw a pack of coyotes, and that scared the fuck out of me. And I felt primal fear. And usually when I feel anxiety, like performance anxiety or anything that doesn't really have to do with mortality, like I'm not gonna die, but fuck, I'm afraid. You feel it in your heart. Or I felt it. Yeah, I felt it in my heart. The mortality fear. Am I stringing together sentences that don't make sense? Yeah, feeling a little rusty. You know, because I just got back from what? We'll get there. But yeah, I felt like a primal fear inside my heart when I saw this pack of coyotes, because they were like dangerously close. Because like I thought I saw a dog, and then I saw another dog, and I saw another dog, and I was like, okay, no one's walking more than 3 dogs at fucking 12 p.m. a.m. midnight. No one's walking a pack of dogs at midnight because unless you got a business where you're a midnight dog walker, that's not going on. And you're especially not doing it off leash in the middle of a park. It's a big park. We're not talking like your baseball park. No, sir. We're talking like a Central Park sized park, right? A Central Park, the same size as the area, we don't know, but we're just gonna say that. But here we go with the untruth. But yeah, when I saw the pack of coyotes, I felt the fear in my fucking. Have we been going for 9 minutes? Holy shit! Oh my god! Maybe we need to start this again. We'll just keep going. But Jesus, fuck, this is gonna be a long one, maybe. But I felt the fear in my heart, and then that made me think like, yo, all the anxiety that I feel in my stomach, maybe that's just like a different kind of anxiety, because like maybe that's just like not the legit shit. You know, maybe you're not feeling the real anxiety when it's in your stomach. Theory of mine. And if you have anything to say about that, drop a comment section below in the YouTube, and we will find out together. And we together can become science, right? That can be fun. That can be free. We can flex. We can join each other together. But yeah, I shit myself. Just panicking. I'm like, what am I gonna say when I get up on stage? I gotta be funny. I want to make people laugh, and I'm so anxious and doing a lot of writing, and none of it's good because like, you know, it's not, when you're writing jokes, it's not always funny. Most of the time, it's not. But I write anyway because maybe good stuff will come up, and then this has happened to me fairly consistently when I have a comedy spot coming up. I'll be panicking for the whole week, and then 1 or 2 days before my comedy set, the entire set, like my entire performance, will just fall into my head. Like everything that I've written or anything that I've found a funny take on, it'll fall into my head in the structure of a comedy set. That's fucking cool. That our brains can just do that subconsciously. Like I'll just be like biking around, and then I'll just be thinking to myself, like I'll just be imagining myself performing a comedy set, like not even consciously. Like I'll just be biking, like trying to mind my own business, and my brain's like, and what do you think of those beans, huh? And then I'll be like, whoa, shit, beans. And then I'm like, oh shit, this is the comedy set. And so I pull myself over and write. And in this particular situation, was that last week? That was last week. Last week I did pull myself over, and luckily I was near my all-night cafe, which is open 24 hours. Fucking cool, because when I'm biking home, I can just stop there and write whenever. It's so dope. But yeah, so I was riding by my little cafe, my 24-hour cafe, pulled into there, wrote out the whole set, looked at it, and was like, oh, I have the power. And I took it on stage, and like, I'm not gonna say I killed, because I'm a year into comedy, but like, I was saying shit and people were laughing. Like, dude, that's fucking cool. Like 1 year into comedy, like I'm starting to really have fun with it. Cause the whole year before this, it was just like panicking, and I've bombed on stage, and you know, I've eaten a fair amount of shit. I haven't been heckled too much. Like I haven't had the audience yell at me. I haven't been booed off stage. But I've had some shitty nights where I'll talk for 5 minutes, and no one will laugh. Kind of like a podcast, but 5 minutes long. But after a year of that, and only doing it like once a week sporadically, like I would say I've only done around 30 comedy spots. I'm starting to get laughs. And yeah, it's stuff that I've been working on and polishing for this year. But I've finally kind of organized it into a highlight reel of this shit that I've written, and it worked. I got up on stage, and for both my comedy spots, I got laughs, and that was really cool. Cause even like, I don't know, not the week before, but maybe 2 weeks before, I've had some awkward sets where like I just get up on stage and it's just I'm sweating bullets, as the comedians say, and everyone's just kind of staring at me like, when are you gonna say something funny? I'm like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Yes. So that was fucking cool. Major life goal complete. Happy about that, and proud of myself. I'm kind of just proud of myself in a lot of aspects currently, because like I'm proud of myself that I went skydiving the other week, because like what the fuck, I didn't want to do that. And I did 2 comedy spots. That's fucking awesome. Hopefully I can start doing more per week, because that's how I kind of grow in my approach to my passions. And then also I'm working on a parkour video where some of the shit that I'm doing I'm pretty proud of. Like I'm feeling okay with double twists on concrete, like going for like double B twists and stuff. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like, yeah, I'll do that. Like the other day I was working on a parkour line, a really difficult one for me just because it was one of my original moves where it's my worm gainer that anyone can do. People have probably done it before I have. But I was working on this line where I do that in a confined space, and I was really freaked out by it. But in between attempts at this move, I got up on top of this ledge and just looked down, and I was like, I could just go for like a double B twist right now. And like I didn't, but when I'm at the gym and I'm up on a ledge, I'm like, I want a double B twist. I do. Like I go stand up on the little, there's this L-shaped wall at Origins. That's where I train in Vancouver. Origins Parkour. Shout out. But if I stand up on that wall and I think I want to do a double B twist, like even if I'm just like starting my session, like I'm probably warmed up already because I bike to the gym. Even if I'm just starting my session, I could just throw a double B twist now. Cool. 10 years into parkour, like this shit's starting to, you know, this shit like makes sense. I can just like do shit because I've been working on it for so long. Pretty fucking cool. So I'm proud of myself that I went skydiving. I'm proud of myself that I did 2 comedy spots in one night and got to bike to each one. Like I really felt like a blossoming comic, a penis blossom. And then I'm working on this parkour video, and I'm very proud of myself with that. So yeah, in general, just kind of freaking stoked on myself. And sounds like someone's slamming a fish against a countertop upstairs. So we're just gonna talk through that. But I don't know if anything else noteworthy happened during that week, but this week's been kind of action-packed for me. Maybe you guys listened to the Amsterdam Rewind podcast, but that was kind of a funny thing because I miss traveling. I miss that a lot. I recorded that in 2019. I had just gone to For the Love of Movement, and then I went to spend New Year's with my friends in Amsterdam. And then after that, I think I went to England. Yeah. But that was a really fun trip because, you know, we had done the truffles in Amsterdam. It's legal there, okay? And you know, you when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And that was kind of a crazy time. And while I was there, I was trying to get the hang of navigating without using Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever. And I went the completely wrong direction. Hilarious. But where have I been this week? Where am I back from? 16 minutes in. Hopefully I've kept your attention. If not, peace. Bye. Didn't need you. But yeah. Freaking, where was I? I was visiting my pops. And I think earlier in this series of podcasts, I think at the very start, perhaps I had visited my dad's place, and that was all right. And I think I had talked about just coming back from it and feeling exhausted, and I'm there with you, bro. I came back from my dad's place, and I could feel the tension leave me. Come in, my friend. Oh, Davis is here. Come on in.
Davis is here.
Look at this. Come sit on the couch, Davis. Everyone say hi to Davis. We got Davis on the podcast. Where have you been?
Out and about.
Right on. Doing errands and deeds.
Yes, I got snacks.
What kind of snacks?
Red Bull.
Red Bull is the snack. I dig it.
All right, to continue the podcast.
I shall.
Hi, everyone.
And Davis has left a wonderful mask for me. I think I'll wear it as a hat.
Excellent. I can take that from you if you need.
Sure, actually.
This has been your commercial break.
Yeah, great commercial break, everyone. A little bit of a snack break for you guys. But as I stepped into the house, I could just feel the tension leave my face because, like, I don't not get along with my family, but it's like I can't be a full 1000% energetic, super creative, bouncing off the walls version of myself with that side of the family. It just doesn't fit. I just know that it's not gonna work, because and you could say, like, oh yes, you should just not do that. You should not be tense. You should just release yourself and be yourself with your family, and that's sick if you can do that with your family. But for me, when I'm visiting at my dad's place, my stepmom complains about the sound of my feet cracking. Like, I'll give you I don't want to spend the whole podcast complaining about my stepmom, because she is also a nice person. But I'll give you a couple breadcrumbs. Okay, so she complains about the sound of my feet cracking. She would leave the dinner table when we were kids if my brothers and I put our arms on the table while eating. And then she requests that we close doors at a certain volume and do not swallow or chew too loudly. And now, you might think that chewing with your mouth closed would be like chewing quietly, but sometimes she's just like, yo, you are chewing loud as fuck. And I'm like, I'm chewing with my mouth closed. It's however loud it is for you, it's a lot louder inside my own head. Cause when you're like eating popcorn, it's just like really fucking loud inside your own head. Yeah. Anyway, couple little breadcrumbs for how that's going. And there are some great qualities to her. She's very personable. Yes. But yeah, kind of after coming home from all that, I could feel the tension just leave my face. Like my brow unfurrowed from constant Wi-Fi mode. When you're holding your brows up and then you got the fucking Wi-Fi lines going. Like, I had a full on 5G going, and then I came home and just put myself on airplane mode and just but it was nice visiting my dad. It was wicked because my dad lives up in the mountains, and I got to just my intention was to do nothing, because the last time that I visited, I had decided that I was going to transcribe my entire joke book, like my entire book of jokes that I had written in the months beforehand. And as I was going through all of the jokes, I was just feeling like complete garbage. reading through all this, because I don't really like reading through my old joke books. It takes a lot of tenacity for me to just like peer through all of my like cringy writing and me trying to be funny and being hacky, or like trying to find the funny inside of a thought. And that was pretty difficult, because my intention was that I could get all that done while I was visiting my dad, and then it was just like suffering the whole time. And I found myself a lot of the time arguing with my stepmom inside of my head. Like we would have whatever disagreement, or she would do something that would make me feel uneasy or angry towards her for whatever reason, and then I would just go off on these crazy arguments inside my head. And I developed a system where when that happened, I would just say check, because I'm checking myself, because I'm getting carried away with my emotions. But it was crazy that was kind of a thing going on in my head when the last time that I visited. And so this time I was like, okay, so I'm going to accept this as the change of pace that it is. I know what happens when I visit my parents. For one thing, my diet falls the fuck apart. I'm just like, okay, where's the sugar? I need to eat all of it. And so I'm just shoveling shit inside my mouth. Like I'll just eat like a massive bowl of French toast crunch before bed, like as if like I could sleep after that. I can't. Spoiler alert. I'm up till 2 a.m. after having a bowl of French toast at 10. And I'm drinking coffee constantly. Which is great for you if you want to not sleep. And eventually I did want to sleep, but I couldn't because I had too many coffees. And when like I don't know how to bridge this thought, so I'm just gonna go off on a complete tangent. But when I'm in the city and I'm operating on my own, right? Salmon Arm is not a city. Like that's like a rural area. When I'm in Vancouver, where I live, I'm living. I am my own adult, right? I feel very confident. I feel like I get shit done. I'm very motivated. I'm a workhorse. I'm always doing shit. And when I visit my parents, I am a lazy piece of shit. Like my dad's got to be so disappointed. But yes, well, he always has these like tasks for me to do when I visit him, and I always fall into this like lazy piece of shit mode. Not like a I won't do this lazy piece of shit, but it's like I will do this, but I am going to be so useless the whole time. And like I know I could be less useless, but I'm not. And I'm just like really lazy and telling jokes the whole time. And that kind of works because my family dynamic, with that side of the family, our love language is just annoying each other constantly. Our love language is getting on each other's nerves for some reason. And I call that the love language because we all still love each other, but we also just like get the fuck on each other's nerves. Like not in like a natural way. It's like I kind of want to push your buttons, and we're all kind of doing it. We're all kind of beep bop beep. Like I see your annoyed button. I'm gonna hit it. Beep beep. Oh, does that make you annoyed? Oh, didn't know. Sorry. But my dad will have these tasks for us, like because he built this place that he lives in, and up until now, like it's finished now, but in the months beforehand and the years beforehand, when I would come visit him, there would be tasks for us to work on. Like, okay, we're going to put together the garage, or there's some electrical stuff we got to wire into the basement or some shit. And I'm helping him, doing my best, but I'm just like, I'm just so lazy, and it feels like my motivation just like tanks. And I, maybe that's just like my default when I visit my parents, but like that default that I fall into also includes like I'm a little bit less, or not, no, I'm a lot less expressive. I'm a lot less energetic. I'm kind of sarcastic. I'm kind of just like holding myself away from things as opposed to like fully immersing myself in everything like I do when I'm here. When I'm in Vancouver, like I'm just fucking immersed in shit, and let's get our hands dirty. Let's try shit out. Like I feel like a fucking man, and then I come home and I'm like, damn it, I'm a boy again. Shit. Like I don't feel grown, and am I complaining too much? Probably. And I'm eating sugar and this time around with this visit, I knew this shit was gonna happen. So I brought activities. I purchased Super Mario All-Stars, which has a bunch of fucking Mario games, because I knew I would just like sit down and video game a lot, because my dad likes to just like put on the news, and he likes to put on not great movies sometimes. Like he likes to watch his little mystery documentaries, which is fine. I'll watch that, whatever. But they've got people who always talk like this, and maybe I've got this pattern of speaking that's like whatever, you know. But the TV watches is fucking boring. Like he'll just like watch the types of movies where you turn off your brain and watch it. And sure, you could do that, and there's no problem in doing that. That's not what I enjoy. I like watching that. I'm just like, I want to shoot myself, okay? And then I do. I pick up the gun and fucking no. But so I brought my Nintendo Switch so then I could just whip it out like a dick. You don't do that. I could whip it out like a Nintendo Switch, like the Nintendo Switch it is, and play that instead of watching the news or whatever. Because I don't know if this is like I don't know if this is a racial thing or a cultural thing or an income thing. I don't know what this is, but I've noticed that my dad and the family in general likes to just like get bummed out. And one of the comedians I follow, Christina Pazitsky, she calls it white people bummers, because they just like to be bummed the fuck out. They like to be angry about something, and they like to be bummed out. Like they like I'll just be hanging out with my dad. We'll just be chilling, having a good time, and he'll go like, "Hey, did you hear about that kid that drowned in his own spit?" And I'm like, "Dad, let's not talk about that. I don't give a fuck." And that's again, I actually don't even know if it's like a racial thing, but Christina Pazitsky calls it white people bummers, because they like to watch the news and see how bad the world's going, and they're watching the US election going on. They're like, "Damn, that Trump guy, he sucks." And they just like they just watch and intake. They take in shit that just makes them so bummed out all the time. They'll put on the radio to listen to, whoever the fuck other boy drowned in his own spit, or tried to put Febreze air effects up his nostril and then died from internal freezing or something. Like, what is that? That I'll just say it's an old person thing, or could I just say white people bummers? I don't know. Like, I don't know what's the line here. Don't know. But I hope I don't get to that point where I just want to be bummed out, because I don't want to be bummed out. I don't even want to be scared. People watch horror movies because they find them exhilarating. I like a horror movie with a little bit of mystery to it, where you want to figure out what's going on. But I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be bummed out. I want to be inspired. I want to be energized. I want to appreciate what's going on, in a movie or whatever the fuck I'm watching. But yeah, do your parents do the white people bummers thing? Is that racist for calling it that? What else can we call old people bummers? Sure, I don't know. But yeah, so I brought the Nintendo Switch so I could just like tune the fuck out when that would happen, because the news is on just like all the time at that house. Like, it's just like, yeah, do you guys want to know what happened with the Nasdaq? The Nasdaq is taking, the stock market's taking a big crash, Josh, and we're heading to a big depression. And did you have dreams? Because you're gonna have to wait now, because we're probably heading into a depression. And Josh, did you hear there's probably a second wave coming up? I'm like, Dad, shut up. You want to tell me a story from your childhood instead? Like, do you want to tell me about a time you were high and just like did something fucking funny? Or like tell me, or even if you want to bum me out or get bummed out, tell me something you regret. Like, tell me something kind of not bummerish. Yeah, okay? But yeah, so I'd whip out the Nintendo Switch, and then I knew I would get addicted to whatever I was playing. So I got addicted to Super Mario Sunshine, which 10-year-old Josh is freaking the fuck out that I can just play that on the go whenever. Like, that's great. Collected 70 shines and beat a bunch of levels and shit. Oh yeah, get inside Mario and we could put on the VR goggles and I could be him. Yeah, but what was I even gonna say? But yeah, I guess I could say that, like, I think I or I guess I could use the royal you. I think when you're doing visits like that to family, you're kind of tensing yourself up to try and please everyone. You hold in just that. You hold in tension, and so like I can there's a lot of myself I can show to my family, but I can't even imagine what it would be like to be someone else or in a different family where you can't give most of yourself to your family, where you are constantly pretending to be someone else, because that's probably fucking exhausting. Now, sure, when you're acting, I guess you could say you're pretending to be someone else. Technically, you're not, because you're using yourself as a truthful instrument or whatever. But that's gotta suck, not being able to be yourself. But I get it. Because I'm not deep in the depths with you. But like, I'm not podcast Josh when I'm at my parents' house. Oh, and why I was thinking, like, damn, if shit doesn't work out for me in the big city, I can't move back home. I gotta make this shit work here, because the person who I am today, I am that person because I was able to leave the house and really find out who I am. You know, I got to live with my friends. I got to pursue my interests. I got to, go out whenever I wanted and not have my parents questioning where I was or who I was with and why do I smell like dog poo, But like if you're stuck at your parents' house because of Corona or whatever, or you haven't felt brave enough or ambitious enough to try and make it work in the city or try and make it work on your own, give it a shot, because you never know what the fuck you could become. Like, I don't think I would have, I don't think I could do the podcast if I was staying at my parents' place. Like, sure, I'm all over the place today because maybe I'm rusty, that I have, and I'm full of coffee, and I've got too much energy and I can't string a thought together. Whatever. But I'm able to do this because I've got my own space, and I'm able to just like try shit out, and I'm able to just like be wacky, and I can walk around the house naked, and I can, at midnight I can just get up and, fucking bang on the pots, and I'm not gonna bang on the pots and pans because I have housemates, but you find a version of yourself when you're living on your own that you just like I feel like I can't access when I'm living, like if I was to live with my parents. So it used to be a thing in my head that I was like, oh, if Vancouver doesn't work out, I could always just move back in with my parents. And then COVID started, and I was like, oh, well, now that a lot of acting is by sending self-tapes for auditions, and then they send you in if you get booked, but you do self-tapes, you can do it from anywhere in the world, I could just probably move back into my parents' place. But the more I visit, the more I'm like, that's not an option. Sure, maybe it could be like a temporary thing, or if I fall on hard times because I've bought a Burmese mountain puppy and then it gets cancer and I gotta fucking take it to the vet and I spend all my money on that, and oh, oops, it's $2,000, it's $20,000, it's $2 million to take care of this Burmese mountain dog, and then I spend all of my savings and stuff that I've worked up towards, and then I gotta move back into my parents. Cool. And you reach rock bottom and shit, let's figure this out, let's get a job, let's save up some money so I can get the fuck out of here. That would be the plan. But it used to be like, yeah, could probably just make it work in my dad's basement. And now I'm like, not an option anymore. Because it's sick to visit, but it's like, don't know if I can be 1000% me. And like, I think the only way for me to achieve the things I want to achieve and to live the life I want to live, I have to be 1000% me, because I want to be my own media. I want to do stand up, I want to do skits, I want to act, I want to do all this shit. I want to be I want to be my own I want to be this source of entertainment with all of these different arms, and I can only do that if I'm 1000% me. So now it really makes me double down on Vancouver and double down on really wanting to make this work, because it's not going to happen if I'm limiting myself. Right? Speaking of limiting myself, as part of the journey home, and I hope my parents aren't watching this like, oh, I didn't know, didn't know you felt like that. Damn, wish you would talk to me about it. Some things are just really hard to explain. Other things you don't want to explain. it is what it is, right? But speaking of kind of limiting myself, on the way home we stopped into another family member's place because they have an auto body shop, and we had to take in my dad's truck to get the brakes replaced and stuff, and like that was kind of an interesting acting exercise and an analysis thing, because it's a very different life in a small town. Maybe you live in a small town, you're watching this, don't know. But this was a very small town, and it's like a mechanic shop where you've got people constantly coming in and out, and it's very masculine. And if I felt more masculine being home, if I felt masculine being here, I don't feel very like manly or grown being home, and I feel even less that when I was just like sitting in this mechanic shop, because it was just like all like it was this relative of mine and then a bunch of other like old dudes. Like these dudes must have been in like their 70s or 80s, and they're just really old and like very very middle Canada, very middle America seeming, very manly, and they're gonna talk to you like this, and then they're gonna ask you questions, and then the only responses that I can have to this is like, oh yeah, oh fuck yeah, oh shit yeah man, yeah, no, for sure, instead of just being like, yeah, and then tell me what it feels like to work in this place, and how long have you been working here? But when we showed up, my dad was like, you're gonna help me change the brakes on the car, and I was like, shit, hope not. So I sat down, kind of buried my face in my phone and started shopping for pants, and then I sat there for long enough that one of the other old dudes, sat across from me, and the thing with old dudes is they don't stay quiet for very long, especially if you're gonna sit across from one, and if you sit in silence across from each other for long enough, all of their stories that they cannot say to you because you haven't initiated conversation with them, all of their stories within them kind of well up and just explode. And then instead of giving you like a really normal story, they'll tell you a story about how someone they know got submerged neck deep in shit or something. like if you don't give them the in to tell their stories, they will just like break out with the raunchiest story because they don't feel like they have earned this. That I don't know. This is a theory of mine. Like maybe they don't feel like they've earned your attention, and they want to just like fucking wow you right off the bat. And if you want to give yourself an exercise in long-term gratification, in learning to wait for your reward, listen to a story from an old person, because holy shit, that takes a lot of patience. Respect your elders, right, guys? But that was just a lot of like, because they would tell a story and they gotta look around for the details and they bring it back to you. And sometimes I can't hear because there's like mechanic shit going on in the background or whatever. But I had to strain really hard to listen and to stay with the storyline. And I'm ADD as fuck. I don't know if you've noticed. So like my mind will wander, and I gotta focus really hard on this story, because hopefully there's some payoff at the end. And then the real challenge is not inappropriately reacting to details, because they are stopping mid-sentence to think and breathe and be old. Sometimes you think they're at the end of a story and you've like fully tuned out. They'll be like, I was there, and you'll go, oh fuck, and then they'll go, and they give you this look like, hey, you little piece of shit, I haven't finished yet. You want to listen the fuck up? And then I do, right? I let them finish the story, right? And then the other thing about this mechanic shop is it was airtight. It was in a garage, and it was airtight, and everyone was smoking cigarettes, and the air was just thick with fucking cigarette smoke. Like I stepped in there and I was like, wow, am I addicted to nicotine now? Like I just, like the cigarettes that they had were just in constant rotation, and I think like if you wanted to get rid of all of the air in there, you would just like probably bring in someone addicted to smoking cigarettes, just hold them up like by their entire body, stick their head inside the door and go, inhale, and they go, and they just inhale all that. And that's the only way you could get rid of that, because it was just like stale with cigarette air. Bro, I came out of there being like, damn, do I smell like I've been damn, do I smell like it's been a long night of drinking? Probably. Came home and took a shower, did a little run. But you know, I have my complaints, and sure, I have my hang-ups with going home visiting family, but it was really fucking nice to visit with my father and my stepmom too. It was nice to see her, but it was great to see her. But I actually had a really genuine moment when I was visiting my dad. We had just watched El Camino, and my dad's a huge Breaking Bad fan. He's a Breaking Bad fan. My dad's a huge fan of Breaking Bad. So he hadn't seen El Camino, so we sat down and watched that, and that's like the continuation. It's like a continuation one-off movie from the Breaking Bad universe about like what happens after the end of Breaking Bad. And it wraps up one of the stories with one of the main characters. Very cool. But we finished watching that, and we were kind of wrapping up for the night. You know, it's 7 p.m. and my dad's got to go to bed because he's fucking old. But we go upstairs and we have our nighttime cereal. We sit down at this like long rectangular table, and we sit at opposite ends because, yeah, that's just what we do. And my dad sat down with his iPad. And he started doing like a Sudoku puzzle or whatever, and he put it down on the table and he was working away at it. And my dad's got this trait, and I'm sure I got this from him, but I guess I'll say we've got this trait where, actually I don't know, yeah, where we just get hyper focused. Like if my dad's watching hockey or if he's consumed in an activity, you can't get his attention. Like he's 1000% there with whatever the fuck he's doing. It's like ultra presence to whatever he enjoys. Like you try and like wave at my dad or get his attention or anything like that while he's watching hockey or playing a game. You can't. Good luck. You gotta flick him in the ear or something or yell at him, and then even then he's like, what? You know. But he was really hyper focused on whatever was in front of him, on his Sudoku puzzle, and eating his cereal and stuff. And I was eating my cereal on the other side, and I knew he would be so focused that I could just watch him. You know, I could just sit there and just watch my dad live, and that was really fucking cool. Like when you just get to watch someone you love live like that and not have them be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you looking at?" Right? I don't know, maybe you and your family like to make awkward eye contact, but I was just watching my dad live, and maybe he was aware of me just sitting there and watching him, but I was just watching him breathe and taking in the setting. It was a very, very home-like setting, you know, kind of warm light coming from the chandelier. He's in a cozy, like a very cozy looking sweater, and I could just feel like a warmth growing in my heart, and I was like, oh shit, that's love. You know, because sometimes we get so caught up fixating on the negative qualities of, you know, whatever, you know, the other person, you know, other people or a setting, or wishing something was different, or we're caught up in whatever internal conflict is inside of our mind. But if you just forget to tune in to the bad shit, if you tune out of the white people bummers, and you just engage with the person in front of you, especially someone you love like your dad, and just feel the love that you feel for them. Like I just got to feel the warmth in my heart. Like I was physically feeling warm, and I was getting goosebumps. I was like, whoa, cool. Like that felt fucking cool. That was a really special feeling and a special moment. And I wrote it down, and I'm really glad that I got to bring it up on the podcast. But that was a really cool special moment, because, you know, he's not always gonna be here, nor will I. But it's always good to tune into the love that you feel for your family, because, you know, they may not always be there, especially your parents. Your parents definitely aren't gonna be there forever. And it would suck to live a life where you forget to tune into the love, you know? I was happy I got to do that. And I bottled up that feeling, and I did some analysis on that, just on how contempt and negative feelings can really stop us from focusing on the love that's already there. Because, you know, even though this situation made me feel love, the situation didn't make the love. The love's always there. And if you're present enough to the moment, and you're brave enough to tune in and to, you know, watch or stare. I don't know. I felt really good about being creepy and just staring, whatever. Yeah, that's another interpretation. But if you tune out of the hate and tune into the love, it's not even that you're making the love. The love is already there, right? It's just a station, and all you got to do is tune into it. But yeah, you can just choose love at any time. And yeah, so I'm happy to be home. Did a little run and felt pretty crappy because I had eaten a bajillion fucking hamburgers on the ride there. Thanks, Dad. And I finally got to stop into an Arby's, which was like, fuck yes. I've been craving curly fries and Arby's beef and cheddar for the longest time, and then I finally got to satisfy that craving. I felt like shit after because it's not good for you food, right? That's not food that's good for you. But yeah, I'm home and feeling as determined as ever, and hoping that I can release a couple clothing designs that I've been saving up for a long time. Because I think I just want to be less ceremonious with my clothing designs and just be like, yep, take it if you want it. If you don't. And that's that. But yeah, happy to be home, feeling well adjusted. It was a really nice change of pace. And really just got to make sure that I get back on top of my diet. Oh, and I had another thing I wanted to bring up. I've got a challenge that I'm going to be doing next month. I'm calling it November, where I don't drink alcohol, don't drink caffeine, I don't smoke weed or do any other kind of drug. And then I don't eat out except for maybe brunch once a week because, you know, I'm kind of in a relationship. I don't how do I even convey the complicated feelings of a relationship? But I am entangled with a person. I'm very excited by this person, and brunch is a really fun thing to do with them. But so I've allowed myself one brunch per week, but no alcohol, no drugs, no coffee, no eating out, minimum 21K of running per week, and then no more than 15 minutes of social media per day. And that's my November challenge. So if you guys want to do that with me, fucking do it and really see like how far you can push your will, you know? How much do your vices control you, right? Are you in control, or is someone else or something else in control? And if you fail, fuck it. You tried, right? I don't know. Try next November. But yeah, that's a challenge I got coming up. And so this has been the Comfy Couch Podcast. And thank you for tuning in. If you made it all the way to the end, drop a comment in the comment section below about your dad. Or don't. Maybe that's a touchy subject. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And it's good to be back. And yeah, see you guys next week. Bye!
Get up.